speed limit sign coming in the town, it was like 3 feet below.
Yeah, they said 4 feet, I don't know if it was today, or yesterday it was 4 feet.
Yeah, 13 feet, 13 and a half feet, I think is what I pressed it.
But 4 feet over the road, right.
Yeah, 9 is.
Because it's funny, the river backs, most of the time, when it floods, the Saco River backs up into the
Swift, right,
Yeah.
So.
It was over Frog Rock. I thought that was pretty impressive. Because you see it now, it's like, wow, that's really high.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that up in Bartlett too on River Street. There's a giant boulder there, and it was up above the boulder. So.
Was it?
Yeah.
I haven't gone up there, I live right near there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just right around the corner.
Yeah, it was like up, and it was like just a ripple. You could tell
Yeah,
where it's
that's
supposed to
what
be.
Frog Rock
You
is.
think that boulder's getting lower? Continual erosion all around the base of it,
I wanna get some video tomorrow.
I should show you the video, I took a ragged video.
Your basement.
Sean, is that you?
Hello, thank you.
Hey, you bet. Hi, good evening.
Alright,
All right, go
thanks for
ahead.
getting the thing connected.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I meant to remind Kelly and then I forgot, but I was just like, okay. I talked to her today, not talked to her, but at least had some sort of contact with her today.
Yeah, I just, pretty much every meeting, unfortunately, it's, land trust meeting right up until 6:30, and then I get the kids at home and Rachel often isn't home from work yet, so
Right.
it's pretty close to impossible for me to actually physically attend.
Okay, well,
Just,
this
it's fine,
works.
I'm fine doing the phone as long as everyone else is fine. Not that we need to change anything, but just that's the scenario.
Thank you, appreciate the update. All right, then, we're good?
We're good.
Okay, all right, I would like to start the meeting and call the Albany Conservation Commission monthly meeting of May 2nd to order at 6:32. And we're going to jump right to appointments tonight. We have a special guest. Sarah Lynn Smith is here from the town of Albany to present us with a proposition. It's all yours.
Hello, thank you
Hi.
for allowing me to come tonight. I am here on behalf of Kennett's 100th celebration, and we are looking to shoot off some fireworks. And after talking with obviously the Conway School District and the fire department, it's come to basically looking at the fact that the only great spot for us to shoot off the fireworks at Kennett would be on your property down by the train trestle. So I do have maps, just to give you guys an
Thank you.
idea of where the location is. So it's right across from or behind the gardens. There's a small section there of dirt that we would just have one fire truck, as well as the fireworks company would go down and shoot off from that section. So basically I just need your yes or no to use that property for our event.
That's down where we used to hold a picnic, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, right
exactly.
in that open area there.
Yeah.
I personally don't have an issue. My only thought is I think we'd have to just check with the land trust regarding
Yes.
a conservation easement. So if all of it falls under that, whether that's allowed, that would be kind of the big question. But personally, I don't have any issue.
It would be Friday, September 22nd would be the date,
Friday,
September 22nd.
2023.
9/22.
Yep.
Okay, I have a question. So, debris from this kind of thing, do you know what kind of, is
Yeah, I
there
was gonna ask that
a result
question
or
too.
any of that stuff?
Well, the fireworks company will pick up their portion of stuff, and then we have already made arrangements for our maintenance crew. Anything that falls within that area, obviously, I know the width that the Conway Fire Department will be covering is a lot larger than normal because of the river and the winds, and we all know that that's like a it's like a wind tunnel right there.
Yes, it sure is, yeah.
So we will be picking stuff up and making sure that things are taken care of properly.
Okay.
It's not So the audience will be at the, Ken?
Yeah, so the audience will be sitting in the George T. Davidson baseball field as well as the football field right there.
Okay.
And then the fireworks will be shot off down there.
Okay.
Basically, it's just easy because we obviously need water access, and it's right there.
Right there, right there. I was thinking maybe fireworks, if we did it early enough, that would scare off the deer, because we had that deer problem last
Well,
year.
there you go. There you go. That very well could be
Yeah,
possible.
Yeah,
The-
so if we check with New
Seems
Hampshire
like
Land
that's
Trust
what we
and
have to do, yeah.
probably touch base with Upper Saco Valley Land Trust as well, and see how they feel about it, and then get back to you.
Okay.
Is that the general consensus, you think?
Do we want to do a vote where it's conditional on approval from the land trust? That way if the land trust says yes, you don't have to wait till or I guess, does it mean, how soon do you need to know? I mean, it's obviously,
I technically need to know within the month.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
so
so,
we should,
yeah.
we should have a motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to vote to approve the use of that portion of the field for setting off the fireworks pending approval by the Upper Saco Valley Land Trust.
I'll second it.
And, yeah,
Thank you.
New Hampshire Land Trust, okay. I second that, all right,
Okay.
okay. All those in favor of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Yes, aye, Sean.
Okay, thank you, Sean. All right, it is unanimous, we will say yes. Should I, once we get an answer, contact you or Johnny?
Or Johnny, yeah.
Okay,
Either one of us is
okay.
fine.
All right, we will make that happen and let
Awesome.
you know within the month.
Perfect. Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome, thank you for coming
Yes.
down with maps and explaining.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Appreciate it. All right,
To follow up on that, Court, once you have the draft minutes, I can forward them to the land trust for review.
Oh, okay, gotcha, okay.
Because the draft minutes should have, just a summary of their timeframe and all that, all
Yep.
the stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
all right, thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
It's good to have a land trust liaison on the board.
I know, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
All right then, we'll move on to some of the new business. Housekeeping, approval of the minutes from our last meeting of April 4th, 2023. Is there any additions, subtractions, discussions?
Look good to me.
Oh, good for you,
I'm gonna abstain because I wasn't here.
okay. Well, with that being said, as I don't hear any changes to the minutes, I will make a motion that we approve the minutes from our meeting of April 4th, 2023. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Like second?
Second.
Okay.
Third.
Thank you. Okay?
Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Alright.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
One abstention.
And one abstention from Kevin. Otherwise, it was a, yes, good. Right. So the next order of business, we might as well discuss the irrigation situation. I believe Kelly sent out an email from Andy Griegel that says we are attempting to irrigate our athletic fields at Pettit Middle School that border the Albany town property. We are asking for permission to install an above-ground 4-inch water main on the border between the railroad property and the town of Albany's property from the river for purposes of irrigation. We've spoken with the farmers on your property, and they agreed to allow them to access the irrigation water being provided to our fields if needed. The farmers have agreed that does not pose a problem for them as it's in the woods. Thank you for your consideration of this matter. We look forward to hearing from you, Andy Griegel. Any discussion on that?
So they're gonna put a pipe in permanently, is that
Sounds like it.
Must be a rigid pipe.
right?
Oh, maybe not though. It could be, it could be if the pumps at the river's edge.
Right.
Yeah, could,
Yeah, yeah.
Rigid with a flexible end.
Yeah, but then you're kind of wondering if it's not live, the farms wouldn't be able to use it unless they were pumping.
Having been at Conway Elementary in those fields a lot, they have just recently installed a bunch of rigid pipe on their land, with a flexible end going into the river, so I'm assuming they're just looking to extend that system.
Oh, what do you think? Do we have more questions? Should we invite Andy in? Should we?
I think this is, or, sorry, go ahead, Sean.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, maybe a quick sketch, and, nothing crazy, but we're gonna have to run it by the land trust, of course.
Right.
I'm guessing this kind of maybe runs afoul of the conservation easement a little bit. I mean, obviously this is in an area where agriculture is allowed and stuff, but that's, utilities essentially for the agriculture are allowed for agricultural purposes on the property. Whereas now this is an abutting property that we're essentially, giving a permit or a lease or a temporary easement or something, to get water. I mean, I guess I don't necessarily have a problem with it. It was probably historically done back when the Kennett Company owned it, probably informally, but I'm guessing there's probably wording in the conservation easement that doesn't necessarily allow us to. That would be like if Public Service or Eversource came to us and said, "Hey, we'd like to put a power line across your town forest. Can we do that?" It kind of is, we're obviously trying to be good neighbors, but I think we have to look at the wording on that. That's really going to be the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a similar sentiment on it. And I think the problem for the school and the grounds is the railroad tracks. They have all the irrigation they want on the north side of the track.
Right.
On the south side, and there's no way to get a pipe, or they would have to get permission.
Right.
You kind of wonder if that brook, that swale on the other side, if they just dug a little bit of a hole there, there'd probably be a ton of water.
Seems like there's a ton of groundwater, yeah.
Yeah.
Down on the south end,
Yeah.
kind of behind the houses that are along the railroad tracks.
Right,
That's kind of I want to say, I mean, there's even a spigot down there, existing that maybe they've used in the past. So I don't know if they've had issues with getting water there, or they just decided it would be easier to get it from the river. But it's yeah, maybe a few more details would be helpful.
Okay.
And then, again, similar thing, I can, once the draft minutes are out, I can just quickly, forward that to the land trust, and if it's just an easy no for them, it's an easy no, if they want more information, then we'll already give them well,
Okay.
I guess that's the question is, do we want to just quickly run it by the land trust before asking the applicant for more stuff? Or do we want to ask them for a sketch and a little more detail?
I'm assuming they want to get irrigation in place for this summer. It's kind of the big. Right now, there's no problem with irrigation, but they want to get it, probably in before things get too dry, which is understandable. So, if it's something that they could look at, if Greg could look at it this week, Sean, then it wouldn't be holding them up. It's just we'd still have to go to another meeting.
They'd want to know if it's permanent or what it is that they want to install.
Right.
Otherwise, it's pretty hard to answer the question.
Right. And even if it's temporary, I'm still wondering if we can really even allow it. So I'd say I would suggest asking the land trust, see if we can get a quick answer, but at the same time it wouldn't hurt for the
I'll call Andy.
Yeah, and maybe just let them know that hey, we're talking to the land
question,
trust. That's also an issue here too. But if the land trust does come back immediately and says no, that's not allowed, then we can get a hold of Andy before he's spent much time or effort on it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just tell him that we met on it and some of our questions and concerns. Yeah, a lot came at us at once this week.
I guess so.
Holy cow. That's why I kind of,
feast or famine.
Yep. So then the other new business that came up was, Kelly told me she got a call about having a powwow out in the field somewhere. I'm assuming it's the same area that Sarah Lynn's talking about.
Yes, it is.
And you can kind of take over from there. You sent us, a
Yeah,
heads up about that.
It sounds like, they formerly, had this for years up at First Bridge, by the fields up there. But the town is not gonna allow that this year, and I'm just assuming it's because of the parking issue, parking restrictions on that section of road that they're proposing. So they were looking for alternatives, and Jennifer was thinking that this would be an option for them.
Which brings up the same question as North Conway, where are they gonna park?
Yeah.
And
Especially, that's
gonna be that's gonna be a lot of vehicles going back
It
there.
is,
It's
it really
not-
is a lot.
Yeah, it's not a few. So I'm a little apprehensive about, it's one thing if we had just a little gathering, but this is gonna be big, and much bigger than,
Okay.
Yeah, they filled the Schuler Park field, and that's a very large field.
Yep. yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know Kelly, the administrative assistant, was going to reach out to Jennifer and just ask for more details in an email. And I was kind of like waiting for that this week, and I didn't see it. So then, Court came through with his, that he had talked to her on the phone, so I have expressed the same concerns about the parking and, details.
I can't imagine the National Forest or the Land Trust wants parking on their properties,
No.
that many people, so.
Yeah, going
Yeah.
through.
What are,
Yeah, because,
what are,
there
what
was,
are
there
other
would be,
options?
there would be, obviously, all the attendees drive in,
Mhm.
and then all the people would park on the road, and now all those people and the attendees would be in there, so it could be several hundred vehicles.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, I agree.
And I'm certainly not speaking for the Forest Service, taking my Forest Service hat off,
Okay.
but just knowing that we don't have access, legal access across the
Right.
Forest Service property, that we're at their mercy, that they've been good neighbors to allow us to continue using that and to allow the remote control radio club to use it and stuff. Like you said, if we have 200 or 300 cars suddenly going in there, I don't think that's gonna go over very well.
Yeah.
I can
agree.
certainly ask, because on the flip side of it, Forest Service, I think, is, would be welcoming of a gathering of this type. It doesn't, doesn't
Right.
want to quash it, but there are, legal issues and stuff too there, so, so I can certainly ask about that.
Yeah, really, you need a good open area that has a lot of parking,
Mhm.
that's reasonably accessible.
Right.
I'm just
The
trying
high
to think, I was trying to think of.
The high school's the closest parking, really, the parking lots at the high school.
Yeah,
the
I wonder
elementary
if they
school.
did it for high school.
That's not exactly convenient for
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they wanna be.
Yeah, I wonder if they did it at the middle school,
Yeah, out back there.
Right.
because it does
And
take
there's
up,
parking.
it does take up the field for, I think it's the weekend, so it's 2 days.
Did they give us a date roughly or
No.
anything?
No, I
And she,
haven't.
and she wasn't necessarily, she told me that it wasn't necessarily this year, but maybe another year,
Gotcha.
And she knew that it could be involved, the whole thing could be involved. And,
I just wanted to add in from the phone that, parking, of course, safety, and then it's, health and safety, right? So the other one is ethics. And, we already had the application from the soccer club about doing a porta potty. They would have to have some porta
Oh,
potty.
good point.
Right, yeah, that's good, yeah.
And we already know that that's not allowed, or not allowed, that's way.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
That's
point.
the other
They
one,
would
right? There's the
certainly
safety
want
of
more.
parking, and then there's the health of.
yeah,
Good point, Sean, thank you.
yeah, well, I think the group would be good stewards, but it's the general public that would be the question mark.
Right.
All right, I'll see if I'll touch base again with Kelly and see if she's heard, although she's really good about, communication, see if she's heard anything else.
And this brings up what I said is that we need to dust off or review this whole thing, so when we get these things, we don't have to, we at least
Yeah,
say maybe we could limit, if it was gonna be an event, it would be of limited size or something, or limited amount of vehicles or whatever we decide.
yeah, I thought I had Conway's,
Yeah, we have a copy of
I
it
have it
somewhere.
somewhere.
I think
I
Leo was
have
working
one.
on it.
Who was it?
Leo Valdera's like
Oh,
3
yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
Yeah, I thought I had a,
Sure,
yeah, like I said, I seem to remember, I ran into it recently, but,
Oh, I thought it was Paul Brown.
that's the historic
Or
one.
maybe it was Rob.
Oh, all right. Okay, well, thank you for that input. Move on, any other new business that we can think of?
I just wanted to add in
Yeah.
to what Kurt was saying about dusting off that application process, is that we also might want to dust off the land trust conservation restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be as simple as, you know, us just reading through it again and kind of making a little mini checklist of
Yeah,
not allowed versus,
good idea.
it's probably written right in there, I'm fairly sure it is, with a bullet point thing of what is not allowed, not permitted. And we could just have that as a reference file for ourselves, so we don't have to necessarily bug Greg every time there's a question that's, you know, we have gotten.
Yeah, right. At the minimum, we might still be bugging Greg, but at least we can, you know, have an educated guess at it, take a look at it, and if something is explicitly, you know, outlawed, then we know and we don't. But I find 9 times out of 10 there's enough gray area on those things, but then at least we can say we've done our homework and we can ask for clarification on something specifically. So that's a good idea, Sean.
Yeah, so if we don't have a copy of it, I can get one from the land trust, I believe, but I don't know if there is a one on file already somewhere in that office where you guys are.
Oh, I'm sure there is, you know,
Locked in the file.
somewhere, yeah, I know. But, you
Or
know,
a digital one, you know.
As I say, I think
If
I've seen
no one
it
has-
digitally.
yeah,
Yeah.
If no one has a hand on the digital one, I'll see about getting just a PDF and sharing it for all of us.
okay, thank you, Sean, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Bring us up to speed a little. All right then, thank you. Old business, I just wanted to, you know, always on my brain is to confirm, we had kind of tentatively set a date of May 20th to walk through the Albany Town Forest and do a cleanup. That is, you know, 1-2 weeks plus away. Hopefully we would be dry enough to do that.
Drained out.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Sure. No heavy black
We'll be in the
flies
middle, we'll be in
yet.
the middle of a drought by then.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Does that still seem reasonable?
It still
To the
works for
group?
me.
Yeah, I will not be able to crank
Okay.
the tank is that day.
Okay.
So shouldn't affect anybody doing stuff, but there will be a lot of bikes and people
Okay,
on the tank from the fishing game site up. So just
Okay.
maybe be aware of that. But
okay.
You should be able to finish before.
oh yeah,
No,
I'm sure.
you're just
Yeah.
coming late.
Right.
Well, the problem is like we get started off individually, so I don't start till like 9:30 or 10.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you can
Yeah.
show
So
up
I
at
can
6.
go first.
Show up-
Yeah.
right.
It's like the marathon, the fast guy should go in front.
Right.
Just bring your yellow paintbrush and show up at 6.
Let's see if I can scare up a couple of,
I think I might be able to as well.
yeah. I don't have Ron's schedule yet, and I'll see if my son and some of his buddies can.
Yeah, that was helpful when he was there and your brother was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot done
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should be a little easier too.
Thanks, Quirt.
Mhm.
It's like something
Well,
you should
what's
say.
Was the main item for that workday to do the battery line, essentially with Kevin?
Well,
Or are we gonna,
seems how Kevin is pulling that, you know, crank the tank, excuse me, we should save that for another work day.
Save it for the fall workday?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably no pressing reason
Okay.
to get it done if, you know, boundary maintenance is good to do in the fall, and trail work's probably nice to do in the spring, because you know you're gonna have a lot of users doing, using the trails all summer. I think the boundary stuff could wait till the fall, or if, we decide we wanna get together in June or July or something too, that could be fine there. So I'm okay with pushing that if you guys would rather do something else. I apologize for not being able to make it.
Craig the King, only comes once a year.
Missed the last 2 meetings, missing trail work.
Right, yeah. Slacker. All right, the timber management plan, we had kind of like put on hold for now. Yeah, I've started to ask some questions and talk to, another conservation commission, and, there's no money in timber right now. So we would have to find some way to, pay for that plan. But we'll just sort of keep it in the preview and see, like you say, it's nothing
Well,
that's like urgent.
we also could make another request again next spring, or for the next budget cycle.
Right,
At the minimum, I'll contact Tim Nolan to let him know we're still trying to figure out how to pay for it.
Appreciate
was,
that, yeah.
He was understandable at the time, he knew the budget cycles and all that, so he's not like sitting there waiting for this work or
Right,
something.
yeah.
It's pretty small for him too,
Yeah.
but he was very responsive and was greatly appreciated that he got back to us very quickly on that.
yeah, I just haven't figured out how this conservation commission is going to get money.
Kevin, what's his name?
Tim Nolan, Nolin, I believe.
Molin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard good things about him.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Any other business to discuss?
No.
We quickly talked about the silt fence, it may not
Yeah.
be there, we won't know until the water recedes now,
Yeah.
so we'll
So
see what happens.
I'll put that on for,
Yeah.
keep that for,
Yeah.
June, oh my gosh, June.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh,
The boundary maintenance we talked about, we can push
Mhm.
till fall unless,
Right.
there's an opportunity to get out there, I'll let people know. I did get an email, God, it was probably more than a month ago, from Jake Davis, updating on stuff. They didn't get the grant that they were hoping to get, so there wasn't any pressing need to get the thing up, the contract updated. And so I think the whole thing that was precipitating that was basically that he just needed an extension, right, to like a 7-year contract.
Yeah.
So now that he's not getting that, he was even saying, well, I don't necessarily need it extended, but he thought, he was still under the assumption we needed to renew the lease, but I don't think we do, because it hasn't expired. And I don't think there were any other reasons to update it. I know we finally made an electronic copy and we were finding, typos and little things like that, but there wasn't any real need to. So I'll try to get back to him. I apologize for dropping the ball on that whole thing, but so that's one little update on that. But.
yeah, I don't have a date for him. We have Grandview till November 1st and the Airplane Club till March 31st, 2024. But I didn't have a date for Jake. Do you remember?
I'm seeing if I have it. I probably have it.
I probably have it in here too, somewhere.
But I'll get back to you on
Okay.
it. I think it's a
It's
few
a
years out though. I think I don't think there's
27th maybe?
some 27 sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will see what I
Alright.
can find.
Thank you for that update, Kevin. Yes?
So on the phone, Chuck, I just wanted to circle back to the May 20th. So if we're not doing boundary line painting, do we want to set a type of work agenda, or are we just going to show up for general trails?
It's just gonna be general trail maintenance, just make sure it's all clear.
Have you,
I haven't, like I
Okay.
said,
Okay.
it's not, when I came back, it was underwater, so.
oh, yeah, cause I've got
Just bring-
I've got a proud owner relief blower now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'll certainly bring mine as
I
well.
can bring him, no.
Chainsaw,
Be obnoxious, rather than that.
loppers, and,
It sure makes
Yeah.
a difference though.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's obnoxious and odorous and
yeah.
everything else.
well, I just, everywhere I go, I don't know about the rest of you, I hear really good things about the trails and the Albany Town Forest and how people really appreciate it. I mean, I'm running into people in the grocery store, so so thank you for, us getting out there and doing it every year, because it's making a difference, and I know people, particularly in Albany, but in other places, really enjoy doing the trails. You have a date?
I do. August 31st, 2024. So
Ooh, okay.
it's like a little over a year away, but
August 24th?
August 31st,
Okay,
2024.
Is that Jay?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
thank you, Kevin.
No problem.
And then, two more things. So one thing was heard you, Kathy, say, I don't know how the Conservation Commission's gonna get money. And you just lightly talk about the donation box thing. I don't know if it's something we wanna put on the agenda as further investigation, or if we decide against this thing, or we have just discussed it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's one of those things, let me get into the legalities of it, cause I'm hearing no. Which, yeah,
Like cash donations.
The
and stuff.
legalities of it, because
Yes.
it's a town way.
yes.
Okay.
So I would like to talk to New Hampshire Municipal, and I know I have, when I was a selectman, that we talked about this, Cordell Johnson put out an email, and I have to resurrect it, talking about some of these things, and, so I have to figure it out. I know Conway, they just get money from the town, it's just in the budget, that's how it's done. And, we're not there yet. I still think there's a small contingent that's going to balk at that. I know, but, so you have to
So
figure it out.
it's New Hampshire Municipal, was it New Hampshire Municipal Association?
Yeah, I'd like to talk to them. I've got to figure out who. Then maybe I just need to go back to Cordell Johnson and find that email and.
For what it's worth, I don't know if I've ever seen any donation boxes on other town properties, having been, out biking and running and
Yeah.
stuff. The state obviously has donation ones, and, the Forest Service has passes, and, so there's federal, you have federal and state there, but.
Kind of a donation.
Yeah.
Mandatory donation.
What you do see sometimes are the barcodes.
Yeah.
Where you can
Yes.
donate to
Right.
an organization like NEMBO or a
Yeah.
conservation
I was
group.
gonna say.
Yeah.
you
But
could
can a conservation group
Yeah.
accept
put up
donations that
a
way?
sign at
Right.
the key, on the kiosk.
Yeah.
Right.
So then becomes us becoming a 501c3, a
At a
nonprofit
certain-
organization, which doesn't work, because we're a conservation commission.
Is that
so
based
that's
on an
donation
amount
money.
of
I mean, we can accept gifts,
Mm,
so I don't think we have to become anything, I
Yeah.
don't think we have to,
We are
Well,
a
let's-
thing right now, correct,
Right.
with the conservation.
So,
commission.
I'm thinking, selectmen are given the authority to accept gifts. So then it goes to,
well,
I don't think we can as conservation commission,
we have
but they.
we have a forest, conservation fund.
Right.
And it can, and the public can donate to that, they can
The funds
directly
could go directly to
to that, exactly.
Basically just has to be.
Yeah, I'm pretty
earmarked.
sure that's state statute,
Really?
yeah.
Cause a lot of organizations will put that right on the map, they'll put a barcode or whatever.
Right.
I always forget the name of the code thing. but-
QR.
A QR code, and people can just go directly donate
Yeah.
online.
We'll have to, how to phrase that, I guess, but.
Yeah, I know, it's in my long range. Like I said, I've started the conversation with a couple of people, trying to figure it out.
Probably Conservation Association could say, sure.
Right, yep. Yeah, they would probably.
Yeah, they certainly would know.
Alright, anything else?
Well, then the one other thing is just that I was at the dump today in Conway, and Amnesty Day is this Saturday.
Yes.
Part of Valley Pride. So, I know on Drake Hill there's a couple old tires here and there that I'm gonna pick up and bring in for Amnesty, but just wanted to pass that along if anyone else has, someone else is dumping ground nearby and wanna get rid of some stuff without paying for it. That's the day.
Sean, do you know the
Just
details?
FYI.
Do you know the details of that? Like it's, how many things can you bring, or is it, for as much as you can carry, or? I kind of looked at
6 items.
6 items. Thank you. I was looking for a number and I didn't see it, so thank you.
This is Saturday.
Saturday, yes. Right, thank you.
6 items. It could be like 4 tires, a couch, and a TV.
Yep.
Remember.
Right.
Per person.
Mhm.
And that's it for me.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder on that.
All right, well, if there isn't anything else to discuss, I would entertain the motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, I will then close this meeting at 7:05.
Thank you all.
Thank you, thank
Thanks,
you
Sean.
so much. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. Bye.
Bye.
It's always afraid to ask this out loud, but